We are here to celebrate an extraordinary achievement. Phil Kessel is a Stanley Cup champion. Hey!
All right, before we dive in, let's get one thing straight. Some NHL records aren't challenges. They're historical artifacts. You don't chase these numbers, you tour them. You stop, stare, maybe snap a selfie, and quietly whisper, respect. These aren't stats. They're legends carved into hockey mythology. Points that look like cheat codes. Streaks you couldn't pull off in NHL 24, even if you turned the sliders to max and bribed the hockey gods. Achievements born back when goalies wore nothing but bravery and foam. So here's the plan. We're sneaking into the Hockey Hall of Fame after dark. Lights dim, echoes everywhere. And we're pulling the velvet ropes back on the 10 NHL records that might never fall. Grab your stick, tape up those imaginary pads, and keep your head up, because we're about to skate through history, and every one of these records might just make your jaw drop. Gretzky's Everest, career points. Start with the most obvious mountain, Wayne Gretzky's career points. 2,857. Read that again. It's not a stat line, it's a zip code. The gap alone is comedy. Gretzky is 936 points clear of Jaromir Jagr in second. That's a whole all-star career and then some. And the most disrespectful flex in sports history, his assists, 1,963, outscore everybody else's total points. Imagine being so generous you still lap the field. Could someone in today's game touch it? Do the math. You need 20 seasons of 140 plus points with no missed time and a nutrition plan designed by Marvel. Even in a friendlier scoring era lately, the runaway just isn't there. The Great One didn't move the goalposts. He moved the stadium. 92 goals, the season that broke physics. While we're with 99, let's grab another artifact. 92 goals in a single season, 1981 to 1982. That isn't a scoring record, that's a meteor strike. The league was wild. The goalies were smaller, the pads were slimmer, and the Oilers played like the speed limit signs were suggestions. Even then, 92 is cartoon physics. In the modern NHL, defensive systems suffocate passing lanes, goaltending technique is a science, and even 60 goals is a season-long heist. We love Ovechkin's runs. We hype 70 as a moonshot. 92? That's a different galaxy. Ask yourself, how many times a year do you say he might hit 90? Exactly. 1,963 assists. The art of generosity. Stay with Gretzky for the trilogy. 1,963 career assists. You know why this one might be even safer than his points? It requires elite health, elite teammates, elite time on ice, and 2 decades of never being merely great, being inevitable. Points let you score, assists force you to orchestrate. It's threading needles while teams design entire penalty kills to erase you. The best passers today rack up 60 to 80 helpers in big years. To sniff 2,000, you need 25 seasons of 80 assists. That isn't a career. It's a geological period. Henri Richards, 11 rings. Now slide from points to rings. Henri Richard, 11. The Pocket Rocket didn't collect Stanley Cups. He invested, reinvested, and took dividends in June. In a cap-era league where parity is the whole business model, nobody is winning 11 as a player. 2 in a row strains rosters. 3 is a myth.
We know will never be broken. I would say that's one that looks pretty solid to me.
There's not enough words to talk about Henri. He was exceptional. Just great.
The Canadians of that era were a factory, yes, but the man still had to skate through it every spring. 5 straight from 56 to 60. Different time? Sure. Still the record you point to when someone says, never say never. Okay, never. Kessel's Ironman March. Let's talk durability because greatness is talent. Unbreakable is time. Phil Kessel's Ironman streak at 1,064 consecutive games is a flex of stubborn health and stubborn optimism.
The power play. Here comes Kessel. Steaming in. Phil Kessel's go.
Think about everything that has to go right. No freak injuries, no maintenance scratches, no flu that nukes a week, no coach deciding you need a reset. Modern load management actively works against this kind of streak. Teams rest players, travel is brutal, the schedule is a blender, and you have to bring enough every night that no one can justify sitting you. It's not only a record, it's a testament to showing up when your body would love to bargain. Glenn Hall, 502 straight games in the net. Speaking of showing up, Glenn Hall's run is so absurd, it sounds made up. 502 consecutive complete games as a goaltender. 7 seasons, no nights off, largely maskless. In a world with backup goalies, sports science, and coaches who have spreadsheets telling them to rest their number one on the second half of a back-to-back, this isn't unbreakable. It's unattemptable. The last goalie to play every minute of a season was in the early 60s. Hall didn't just own the crease. He leased the real estate and put utilities in his name. Brodeur's 691 wins and 125 shutouts. While we're in the blue paint, Martin Brodeur's 691 career wins sits like a granite statue in Newark. To catch him, a goalie needs 3 things you rarely get all at once: longevity, a perennial playoff caliber team, and health that ignores math. Modern starters share nets more, start fewer games, and face workloads designed for May, not November glory. Oh, and while we're here, his 125 shutouts? That might be even more fossilized. You're not bagging 10 to 12 clean sheets a year anymore, unless your defense is secretly the Avengers. Sittler's 10-point night. Let's step out of the decades-long epics and into one legendary night. Daryl Sittler's 10-point game. 6 goals, 4 assists, 1 poor goaltender having intrusive thoughts.
Earl Thompson to Sittler. Sittler over the line. Point right in.
Could it happen again? Hockey is chaos, so never say never. But the conditions required are outrageous. A blowout you don't pull stars from, a goalie you leave in, special teams piling on, and a line that refuses to cool off. In today's NHL, you're yanked at 5 or 6 against. You shorten benches. You respect the mercy rule of vibes. 10 is a fairy tale where everything aligns and nobody wakes up. Rockets 50 and 50. Pop quiz. The phrase 50 and 50 belongs to who? Maurice Rocket Richard. First to 50 goals in his team's first 50 games back in 1944 to 45. Only a handful of players have ever done it, and only Gretzky did it more than once. In the modern league, scoring is up a bit, but coaching is too smart. Matchups are too precise, and every team will glue a shadow to you the second you get a whiff of history. You need a calendar sprint where you score basically every night and double up a bunch. Greatness plus momentum plus a stubborn relationship with the post. That's a lot of variables to charm. Bobby Orr's plus 124 season. And then there's Bobby Orr's plus 124 in 1970 to 71, which is not a rating so much as a lifestyle. Plus minus is a noisy stat, sure, but plus 124 is the statistical way of saying every time I'm out here, good things happen, and they happen a lot. Orr did it while putting up 139 points as a defenseman. detonating every expectation of what a blue liner could be. Could a modern player, even on a wagon, break plus 124? You'd need a super team steamrolling an entire league in an age of parity, and one player on the ice for basically every goal for and none against. That's not a season, that's an urban legend. Why records last? Okay, let's exhale and string these together. What do all these records have in common? They're not just numbers from the past, they're artifacts of context. Gretzky's totals flourished in a wilder scoring era, but his gap on the field is era-proof. Kessel and Hall benefited from iron bodies and, frankly, some luck in two very different philosophies of player usage. Brodeur had timing, talent, and an era that let him pile minutes. Sittler's night required a perfect storm. Richards' 50-50 captured a league on the edge of transformation. Orr's plus-minus rode a dominant Bruins team and an all-time individual. When the game changes, some ladders get pulled up behind the record holder. That's not shade. That's physics. The McDavid what-if section. Let's play the what-if game, because you're already thinking it. What about McDavid? First, love the ambition. If anyone could bully common sense, it's 97. Could he threaten a single-season points mark in a perfect year? Maybe he makes us sweat. Could he chase 2,857 career points? He'd need to stay peak for a decade and then stay elite for another, with 82-game health and friendship bracelets with the posts. It's not impossible in the metaphysical sense. It's impossible in the our bodies are made of hamstrings sense. Also, defenses learn you. Contracts age you. The calendar is undefeated. Modern Iron Man math. Could anyone touch Kessel's Iron Man? Every season we say no, and every season someone gets to 300 and a coach says, maintenance day. It's not just willpower. It's roster math. It's a trainer, a flight, a back-to-back, a Tuesday in Winnipeg when your ankle says, absolutely not. Which is why Kessel's number feels like an art piece hung above the schedule. The Brodeur equation. What about wins for goalies? What if a phenom starts at 20 and plays until 40? Even then, modern tandems share the load. You'll sit 20, 25 times a year by design. Injuries happen, teams change, coaching trends wobble. Brodeur's runway was perfect. He made it count. Records as villains and motivation. And for all the talk of unbreakable, these marks also give today's stars something delicious, a villain to chase. Unbreakable is a dare. When a guy creeps towards 70 goals, we all check the pace chart. When a player posts a 6-point night, you Google Sittler 10 like you're checking rent comps. When a rookie strings 200 straight games, you bookmark the Iron Man page. These records don't just sit there. They shape the way we watch. Personalities behind the legends. Let's have some fun with the personalities behind the numbers. Gretzky? His records read like polite bank heists. Always in the right place, right time, right pass. Kessel? The most, I'm fine, let's play energy ever, with an Iron Man streak powered by hot dogs and joy. Glenn Hall? That's a man who looked at a backup goalie and said, no thanks, I brought me. Brodeur? Efficient royalty with a defense that treated the slot like a restricted airspace. Sittler? Friendliest scorekeeper's nightmare. Rocket? The rule rewrite in skates. Henri Richard? The walking definition of we win here. Pick your hill. And you, yes, you on the couch, what's the one you'd guard with your life in an argument? Are you Team Gretzky Gap, where the difference is the proof? Team Kessel, because showing up is the hardest skill? Team Hall, because your knees hurt just hearing the stat? Team Brodeur, because winning is the point? Team Sittler, because single nights can be immortal? Team Rocket, because 50-50 is poetry? Team Or, because plus 124 makes math blush? Pick your hill, defend it proudly. So yeah, call these unbreakable, frame them, tell your kids, argue about them in group chats. And when someone gets hot and the pace graphics start appearing on broadcasts, lean in, root for chaos, root for history. If a record ever falls, we'll lose our minds together. Until then, tip your helmet to the legends who set the bar so high, we turned it into the ceiling. One last lap. Unbreakable doesn't mean untouchable. It means unforgettable. Gretzky's math, Kessel's stubbornness, Hall's iron, Brodeur's resume, Sittler's perfect storm, Rocket's sprint, Orr's gravity defiance, Henri's jewelry box. They're more than numbers. They're stories frozen into silver and stitched into banners. And they're why every time you hear a crowd rise for something big, you think, wait, are we about to see a ghost get company? Your turn. Now, your turn. Which record do you swear on tape will never move? And which one do you secretly hope someone chases, just to make the sport feel dangerous again? Drop it. I'll bring the pace charts and the bad jokes. You bring the hot takes and the smelling salts. Hockey's history is loaded, and the door to the impossible is always cracked, even if it never swings open.